Hi, my name is Manfred Schoch, and today we want to talk about the implementation of a new digital work strategy in a company. We've talked a lot about the different challenges and advantages and disadvantages of new digital work, but now we want to talk about how we come to a strategy for a company. You probably know a lot about this motivational slide here, but what you don't know yet is how different companies think about working remotely. And there are two prominent examples who don't support remote work, but rather say we need to go back to the office. And one company is Tesla. Elon Musk famously said, you can work remotely, but only after the 40th hour. So basically after your core work time. If you're doing over hours, you can do that from home, but other than that you need to work from the physical office, and that is particularly the case for production facilities. So where production workers are working physically, office workers need to be present as well. Maybe that's fair, maybe that's something that other companies should adopt. Well, we'll see. There's another company, Goldman Sachs. The CEO of Goldman Sachs said that the home office is an anomaly. It should be stopped as soon as possible. But Goldman Sachs also owns a lot of office space in downtown New York, which is very expensive. So maybe that is an influencing factor for this position. Other studies, however, say that about 50% of the US workers would rather quit than return to the office full time. So maybe Tesla can do that, but other companies should be careful with a back to the office policy. On the other side, you could go completely remote. And some IT companies do that because they want to take advantage of recruiting a lot of employees from all over the world, because IT personnel is scarce. You can see here one BBC article says companies are doubling down on remote work. They want to continue with remote work only, maybe also for cost-saving reasons. But maybe that is also not something for everybody, because again, up to 50% of the US workers say that they are not currently very engaged with this particularly with remote work settings. There's a term that was coined quiet quitting. Employees haven't quit their job, but they are not really actively participating in it. They're not driving many of the initiatives, but maybe take a back seat and try to do as little as possible to not get fired. We don't want that either. So the question is, how can we combine both office work and remote work? And we've talked about that. That is new digital work that comes with many advantages, or tries to mitigate some of the disadvantages from both the left and the right side here. This is a company decision, and the management must make this strategic decision on probably the highest level. And we've seen that Elon Musk and the Goldman Sachs CEO are the ones that are cited in these articles, because they are the ones who make those decisions. And as we said, that can be company specific, can be because you own production sites, it can be because you own office space, or it can be because you're an IT company and you really need this talent and you can't get it otherwise. So this is an individual decision. Are you more on the traditional office work side? Do you continue to rely on traditional working models? Or are you switching maybe completely on the other side to complete flexibility? The digital transformation makes it possible, but there are some dangers with increasing anonymity. It will be increasingly difficult to maintain those employees. Why shouldn't they switch to a different company if the other company offers more money? There are little intangible reasons to stay with that company if there is no connection between the employees or between the company and the employees. And then there's this whole area in the middle, which is hybrid work. Flexible work for some things, remote work for some things, and physical work for others. Most companies don't make one decision that applies to everyone. Why not? Because people are different. People are maybe production workers and they need to be at work. There's no possibility to work digitally in those jobs. There are individuals who may have family or who are part-time workers, and they might need more flexibility. So a lot of companies give a range here. They say, well, at least 2 days a week in the office or something like that. And we try to depict that here with those two speed signs. One is the minimum and one is the maximum speed. And that can be something and must be something that the company makes a decision on, a strategic decision on. Once that decision is made, there are different dimensions in which we need to act, and we saw them from our study. And there needs to be this overall vision, which is the roof of this house here. And the roof also contains some departments that are steering new digital work normally. As I said, executive boards for the decision making, but also HR. This is very much an HR issue, and IT. We need IT capabilities, and we need to get people to know how to use digital technologies to make new digital work efficient. So those are two very important departments. And sometimes there's real estate involved if it's about transforming the office space, and often there's finance involved because obviously this all has cost implications. Accounting and responsibility is obviously something that lies with the roof, with the top of the organization. And then there are different dimensions which need to be addressed. Work design and processes, corporate culture, socio-technical dimensions. And you can think about different measures that your company or that a company needs to invest in to be successful with new digital work. That might not be the same for every company. Some companies might need to redesign their office spaces. Some companies might need to work on leadership and cultural transformation. And some companies might need to work on IT systems or empowering employees to use them. Obviously, this all has a legal dimension. Some things are possible, some things are not possible, and that needs to be taken into account. So depending on the branch, the competencies and the focus, the strategy of the companies, you have to decide which fields of actions to prioritize, and where necessary, obviously require or take outside support to get all these measures going. There's a basic process model. There's a process model for a lot of different things that applies to many things, not just new digital work. Starts in the upper left corner with diagnose. Identify the fields of actions. See which areas are particularly important for your company. Look at the maturity levels that you already have in place and where you want to be. And then design concepts and actions and transformational roadmap on how these different dimensions should be addressed, can be addressed, deliver on it. Usually starts with testing and implementing, and then monitor. See if your actions lead to the desired results. Often that's not immediately the case, so monitor that progress, and again continue with that cycle, diagnose why your results aren't there yet, redesign, redeliver. So that's a basic process model that applies to many things, and also new digital work. Thank you for listening. This was a short introduction how to implement a strategy on new digital work. See you next time.